WWE RAW comes to us from Atlanta, Georgia. It is a couple of days removed from Saturday night's main event and just a few days before the kickoff of WrestleMania season with the Royal Rumble. So what are we expecting on the show this evening? The first one, they teed this up on the first Netflix, and then we really didn't get anything after it. But Roman Reigns said, big thing, January 27th. And we're all anticipating that there's going to be a 2K thing that goes along with it as well. But I'm surprised that we haven't had much of a build for it. And even when you click on the website to see what's going on with the show, you don't get a whole lot there. So, I still think we're going to get it tonight, and I'm very interested at what it is all going to be. And we're going to have a little bit more WWE 2K on Twitch here and on the YouTubes and social media as well as we lead up to the announcement of 2K25 coming out for the WWE. I'm also anticipating a really big Cody promo and a Kevin Owens segment tonight. I do think that while getting super kicked by Shawn Michaels doesn't really take away a whole lot from one's career, I do think that you need to get Kevin Owens back on this guy's a badass train. And that only happens with a big segment tonight. So I think you get Cody cut a really impassioned promo, because we didn't get a lot from him on Saturday, and really put the finishing touches on the build that has been fantastic. And then I think Kevin Owens has to come out and just beat that poor guy down and have that be the final visual going into Saturday at the Royal Rumble. The main event is Sami Zayn against Drew McIntyre. Really intriguing match, because you're slowly building up Sami to this world title picture, but Drew has killed him lately. And if you do that again, I think there's, again, a story you can tell. It's basically the exact same as they did last year, where, like, this guy, no, I want this title. I really want this title. Like, do you? And you try to build it up, and then eventually it's I need this opportunity. And that's what they got with the Intercontinental title thing with Gunther. You basically have to try to tell that whole thing again here with Sami if we are going to be building him up into a world title thing. So I think that there is a lot of intrigue about how you handle Sami and Drew coming off of a roll-up loss in his last bout, and trying to keep that character strong. Tag team titles on the line. It is the War Raiders taking on the Judgment Day. I would anticipate this being just an absolute squash match and just making the War Raiders look awesome and going about things that way. Logan Paul, he is making his Raw debut tonight, and I have in my notes here, at least I'll be able to catch up on some fast forwarding, because again, I'm hosting a radio show this evening, and I don't really have a whole lot of time for Logan Paul these days. So that'll be a nice little skip forward as I try to get all caught up on Monday Night Raw. The last one, there has been a lot of talk about Goldberg and Gunther. They did the thing with Gunther in Calgary, where Gunther was like, my favorite wrestler of all time was Goldberg. And then they were in Atlanta, and Goldberg said, I was kidding, you sucked. And now they're back in Atlanta. And Goldberg has talked about how this is his last year, and he is going on the retirement tour. And a lot of us are anticipating that begins with a night in Atlanta leading up to WrestleMania. And then we're assuming that because there's that back and forth with him and Gunther, that is the way that you go. And so I would anticipate, if we're getting anything Goldberg related, it is going to be on the show tonight. And honestly, I've talked about the Sami Zayn, the opportunity of getting Sami the world title and how to maximize that kind of a situation. I think a way to do it is, or a way that you could do it, is this feud starts here, and then WWE is in Toronto in March for the Elimination Chamber. And Sami is, as they say, over like Grover, up here in the True North Strong and Fierce. And so you get Sami in a hometown spot, the crowd is behind him, and then it is like Eddie Guerrero in 2004 at No Way Out against Brock Lesnar, and they probably will leave that part out of the comparison. But you have Goldberg was sitting ringside, he speared Brock, Eddie gets the frog splash and the win. I think you could do almost like beat for beat that same thing. Sami is hanging in there, and he's this underdog, and he's battling through all these shots, and then the referee is down, Goldberg comes in, and it's the spear, Gunther staggers to his feet, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3, Sami gets the title win in Toronto. I think you could legitimately do that with Goldberg and Gunther. And so again, we talked about before how a number of different stories could include the world title. A bunch of them are also strong enough, or can be built strong enough, that they don't need it either. So they are in a very interesting spot with that world championship right now. And if you just wanted to have the moment of moments in Toronto building up to WrestleMania, you could absolutely do that and set up a really good feud with Goldberg and Gunther. So I'm interested to see if that build starts today.